this video, I watched the new God of War Valhalla reveal trailer in 0.25x speed, and here's what I found. Okay, so as you can see, it's got blood, gore, intense violence. It is a very quite violent game, to be fair. A lot of combat, battles, and fighting going on. That's kind of the main premise of God of War. You see the PlayStation logo, and obviously made by PlayStation Studios, as it is a PlayStation exclusive. And you can see the PlayStation Studio logo fade to black. So the opening shot is a body of water, and you can see a chair lying on that body of water, floating on the surface. I don't know what part of the God of War world this is in. Obviously it's set in the Norse region, and yeah, obviously you can see it's captured on PS5, so the graphics are probably a bit more enhanced, a bit better than obviously if it were on the PS4. But you can see the attention and the attention to detail, the level of detail, the water. You can see the reflections in the water, and like it just looks really clear and crisp. The camera moves back a bit, and yeah, the graphics in this game are pretty mad. And then all of a sudden Kratos comes into frame. You can see him wearing some really cool armor with a really cool design, and you can see his beard as well. He's rowing presumably on the water, and then on his back you can see his Leviathan axe, as well as his kind of sword-like weapon as well. And yeah, he's kind of just looking around, assessing the world around him. I presume the Valhalla thing is like a DLC, an expansion pack for the original God of War Ragnarok game. And yeah, he's just paddling along, rowing the boat. In this clip we don't see Atreus, Kratos on his own, but still, then it fades to black. As you can see, it's obviously produced by Santa Monica Studios, which is, I guess, a subdivision of PlayStation Studios. They develop games exclusively for PlayStation. As I said already, God of War is an exclusive. Here you can see Kratos looking up at this sort of forsaken land with a really cool statue on top of it of a woman, I imagine, or an angel type thing, but with wings, kind of walking towards this place. Opens the door with his mighty strength. Has to crack it open. You can see how much force he's exerting, and then eventually does. You can see some blinding light that he just pushes through into, and yeah, it goes into the unknown depths, the depths of the unknown. And then all of a sudden we find him walking through slowly, gets out his sword and like dagger type weapon, ready for combat. And you can see it's very misty as well, quite ominous, gloomy, the yellow light, the kind of candle light type thing. And then it fades to black, cuts to black. Then you can see him slicing and dicing at enemies. You can see the level of gore in this game. Goes straight through the midriff, proceeds to hit that guy twice in the midriff before slamming him down. When it comes to his foes, I mean, he is a God of War at the end of the day, so the way he deals with frozen enemies, using a shield to expose the enemy and then just strike him with a vicious uppercut. Then you see a dragon type creature approaching Kratos, tries to pin him down, but Kratos gets back up, wrestles with the guy, with the dragon, although saying that the dragon is just absolutely tearing him apart here. And then it fades to black again. Then you can see Kratos wake up in some unbeknownst location, kind of looking around like, where am I type thing. And he's just like, what is this? He's just looking around, and then just eventually charges, sprints towards some enemies, does a nice pirouette turn and slams them with a fiery weapon which has long range, kind of extends and elongates outward so he can strike foes from distance, then hits an enemy in the midriff, then summons some other weapon before kind of putting that guy off his feet and then just finishing him off. Once again, he's got an ice type weapon here, then the fiery weapon that he's swinging around, doing 360s and all sorts. Once again here, a vicious uppercut, gets the guy in the air before finishing him off with a deadly blow with the long range weapon and slamming him to the ground. Then once again sprinting at an enemy, jumps up and then hits down hard and heavy with some water type weapon here. Once again, he's just kicking that guy off of the ledge like a This Is Sparta type moment. And yeah, when it comes to combat and fighting enemies, obviously Kratos does not mess around type thing. Here we can see him against, I assume this is a boss, or like a boss in the DLC, in the Valhalla DLC that you have to face, who's probably a lot more formidable than the regular enemies. And then you can see obviously the God of War logo. This Valhalla DLC is for Ragnarok, the newest God of War 5. And me personally, like, I think God of War, it's held in high regard, like probably one of the most highly rated PlayStation exclusives. But I personally am more of a Spider-Man Horizon kind of guy. But God of War, I understand why it is rated highly. It's just not really my kind of game. Although it does look cool, it looks interesting. But when I actually play it, when I played God of War 4, it just wasn't really that great in my opinion. But it does look cool. Anyway, this Valhalla DLC is coming out in 3 days from now, December 12th. The DLC is free. Mad. That's pretty cool. Most DLCs usually cost money, but yeah, so the fact that you get this for free is pretty cool. But that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah.